I'm here now with Bernie Corbett, who's been the voice of the Terriers for over 30 years. So Bernie, 30 years. What's it like to have this job for so long?
Well, I guess, job and so long. First of all, I guess as far as having the job and having the opportunity, I'm honored to have it. To be in this position for as long as I have, it's the proverbial dream come true. I grew up with it. You know, when I say I grew up with it, I mean it. You know, to say it's in my blood and this has been part of my life, I really don't know any other way, you know, or haven't known a day that I wasn't passionate about BU hockey. Was the color analyst for a couple of years, and then was in a position that I could move on and do the play-by-play, and here it is in the blink of an eye. It's 30 years later, and it's just pretty much nothing but good memories.
Over your years here doing radio, what's been the most exciting event you've witnessed on ice?
You know, I guess you'd say you always remember your first kiss, your first kid, or whatever. We just honored the '95 national championship team, and that was the first national championship team that I had an opportunity to be the play-by-play voice for. So, I mean, that was pretty special, winning the national championship back in 1995.
How about off the ice with the fans?
I'll tell you one thing that I'll never forget. After the euphoria of winning the national championship in '09 down in Washington, and I remember getting back to the hotel, packing everything up. I kind of sent everybody away. I says, "Don't worry, I'll pack up, enjoy it." Went down to the locker room area with the team, and had a chance to greet every member of the team individually. And then Matt Gilroy and John McCarthy, the captains, they walked over with the national championship trophy, and they just handed it to me like, "Bernie, here it is," you know.
Speaking more about the team in general, with David Quinn replacing Jack Parker as head coach, did you see any changes within the team style of play or their attitude?
I think that David is very much a disciple of Jack Parker, and I think that he's a very strong part of the coaching tree of Jack Parker. There's nothing that he really hasn't done in hockey, and I think it shows in what he's able to bring to the table as a head coach. He's very much a BU guy, and I think that he's very much a Jack Parker guy. There's a lot more similarity than there are differences. And for me personally, people have asked me, you know, what the difference is from you, and I said, well, it's like going from my second father, who was Jack Parker, to my brother.
Now, witnessing the team for so long, how have you seen the team develop over the course of the years?
Well, I think that there was a certain defining quality to BU hockey. In terms of development, there was always, I think, a style of play and a commitment. You know, there's been some down years, but for the most part, BU hockey is defined as one of the programs that's one of the marquee programs. As Jack Parker used to say, one of the brand name programs of college hockey. That, you know, fortunate for all of us, hasn't changed.
So Bernie, you mentioned the ups and downs that the team has had, with last season being an extreme downer. What's it like to have a team with such a bounce-back season this year?
I went out on the line about a year ago with the captain of the '95 team, Jacques Joubert, who's one of my good friends who's out in Chicago, and said that we would win 20 games this year and we would make the NCAA tournament. And I think about the capabilities. I think we forgot about the capabilities of the guys returning, and we were somewhat snake-bitten in a lot of areas. I mean, last year was kind of a Murphy's Law type of year where everything that could go wrong did go wrong for us. I really believed in this team, and I believed that it could be a dramatic, maybe I'm one of the few people that really believed that it could be a dramatic turnaround. So I've been far from shocked by the success of this team and the success that they still are capable of, I think, from this point on. The sky's the limit.
Now, speaking about such a strong regular season BU has had this year, what are your predictions for the Hockey East tournament?
Well, I think I think that they've maximized their position. This team has an excellent chance of winning the Hockey East championship, which is quite a coup to win this league.
Now, what could possibly be BU's downfall this season with the problems that they've had?
I think that getting past the slow starts for this team. I mean, this team has developed an identity and a personality and a real swagger. And one of the things is they have, I think, a supreme confidence in their resilience and you know, their ability to come back. You get into situations where a slow start in single elimination could really haunt them. Are you going to put yourself in too deep a hole to climb a mountain to be able to come back? I mean, as much as everybody can talk about Jack Eichel, and they should, because he's been the real deal and he's delivered and he's been everything we hoped, the four freshmen, which is not a group, and I don't have their first album, but having the four freshman defensemen play as well as they have and develop over the course of the year the way that they have, I think that's been a real defining quality for this team.
Thank you so much for sitting down with us, Bernie. We really appreciate it. For Terrier Nation, I'm Kyle Davi. Now back to you guys in the studio.